everybody please stand up? Who can lead the prayer? Yes, please lead our prayer, Kimberly. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, good morning, class. How are you today? Oh, wow, that's great. Okay, class. Anyway, before we formally start with our lesson, I am going to introduce myself first. I am your teacher. I am Vance Faith Ishikawa, but you can call me Teacher Faith. Can I hear it from you? Teacher Faith. Very good. Class, do you know the song Dance with Shapes? Okay, let's all stand, sing, and dance together.
Ping pong. Roll around, circle. Circle. Roll round and round and round. Circle. Roll round and round.
Stool, square. Square, stop, here and there. Square, stop, here and there.
Slide, triangle. Triangle, slide, left and right. Triangle, slide, left and right. Point, diamond. Diamond, point your finger, 1, 2, 3, 4. Diamond, point 1, 2, 3, 4.
Shake, star. Twinkle, little star. Shake your hands. Twinkle, little star. Shake your hands. Choo, heart. Ha, heart. Choo, give a kiss. Ha, heart. Choo, I love you.
Okay, class, let's clap our hands together. You may take your seat now. Now, class, I will going to check your attendance. When I call your name, just raise your right hand and say present, okay? Alain, Salma. Estanyo, Kimberly. Lapad, Madel. Limao. Ribollos, Mary Rose. Okay, no one is absent. Very good, class. So before we start with our lesson, please make sure that your chair is clean and well arranged. Please pick up the pieces of paper under your chair, okay? Okay. Please raise your right hand if you have any concern or if you know the answer, okay? Okay. When I'm still here talking in front of you, please remain silent so that you will understand our lesson. And if you wanted to go out, please raise your right hand and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, may I go out?" Is that clear, class? Do you have any suggestions or questions about our classroom rules? Can I expect that from you? Okay. Before we begin with our formal lesson, I will show to you a short video presentation. Kindly watch and listen carefully. Is that clear?
2D and 3D shapes. Children, you have learnt about plane and solid shapes in class 2. Let us now revise and consolidate our knowledge. Plane shapes are those that can be drawn on the flat surface such as paper. It has two measurements, length and breadth. So it is also known as two-dimensional or a 2D shape. square. A square has 4 sides. All the sides of a square are equal. A square has 4 vertices. Rectangle. A rectangle has 4 sides. The opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. It has 4 vertices. Triangle. A triangle has 3 sides. It has 3 vertices or corners. Circle. A circle has no vertex. It is a closed loop. It can be traced with a 1 rupee coin, carom coins, etc. Children, now let us know about some solid shapes. Solid shapes have 3 measurements: length, breadth, and height. So a solid shape is also known as 3-dimensional or 3D shapes. Solids have faces, edges, and vertices. Some of the shapes of solids are: look at the shapes of objects shown here. All these objects have the shape of a cuboid. A cuboid has 12 edges. The point where 3 edges meet is called a vertex. A cuboid has 8 vertices. A cuboid has 6 faces. In the given figure, 3 faces are visible and 3 are hidden. Count the faces of your book. It has 6 faces: 1 front face, 1 back face, 1 top face, 1 bottom face, and 2 side faces. Look at the shapes of objects shown here. All these objects have the shape of a cube. The die with which you play is a cube. A cube has 8 vertices, 12 edges, and 6 faces. Children, we have seen all the objects shown here in our daily life. All these objects have the shape of a cylinder. A cylinder has no vertices. It has 2 curved edges and 3 faces. One face of a cylinder is a curved face. 2 faces, that is the top and bottom of a cylinder, are flat. Children, now take a look at the shapes of the objects shown here. Each one of these objects has the shape of a sphere. A sphere has 1 curved face. It has no vertex and no edge. Children, now look at these familiar objects. All these objects have the shape of a cone. A cone has 1 vertex and it has 1 curved edge. It has 2 faces, 1 curved face and 1 flat face. All solid figures have 3 different views: top view, front view and side view.
Now class, how do you find the video? Yes, Madel? Okay, now what lesson did you gain from the short video? Yes, Mary Rose? Okay class, are you familiar with the cabbage fill game? So today, we will be having a cabbage fill game. So, here is the instruction. Look at this cabbage fill that made of paper. Inside of it, or every leaf of it, has a corresponding questions that correlates to our lesson that I'm going to discuss later. As I start to turn on the music, you are going to pass the cabbage next to you, and when I turn off the music, the one who still hold the cabbage peel are the one who first to answer the questions inside of each leaf of the cabbage, and so on, until all the questions of each leaf of the cabbage had done answering by the class. Okay? So, let's start. Now class, did you enjoy the game Cabbage Fill Game? That's good.
Okay class, now I will show to you an example of 2D and 3D shapes of geometry for you to understand well our lesson. Here are the 2D shapes: circle, rectangle, square, trapezoid, triangle, hexagon, quarter circle, half circle. Here are the example of 3D shapes: cylinder, cube, sphere, cone, triangular prism, rectangular prism. Okay class, I will ask you some questions. What is the difference among 2D and 3D shapes? You're right, when we call that the shapes are 2D and 3D shapes. You're right again. Give some example of 2D shapes and 3D shapes except those who are already given. Very good. Okay class, now I will give you an activity. It is by group activity. Kindly form 3 groups, and each groups must be having at least 10 members. Then choose one leader to represent your groups. I am the one who will provide the pilot pen and the manila paper. So here are the instructions. Draw a 2D and 3D shapes of geometry that you can see only inside the classroom. Then choose 2 presenters to present your activity or output. Okay class, our topic is all about geometric shapes wherein the 2-dimensional shapes and the 3-dimensional shapes. So, it can be defined as figure area closed by boundary which is created by combining the specific amounts of curves, points, and lines. The different geometric shapes are triangle, circle, square, rectangle, triangle, polygons, and parallelogram. These shapes has 2 dimensions, the length and the width. On the other hand, the 3D shapes has 3 dimensions, the length, width, and height.
We have 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes of geometry. We say 2-dimensional shape, it can be defined as a flat plane figure or shape that has 2 dimensions, the length and the width. 2D does not have thickness and can be measured in only 2 faces. While 3-dimensional shapes, it can be defined as a solid figure of object or shape that has 3-dimensional shape, the length, the width, and the height. 3D shapes have thickness or depth. Now that we are done discussing our lessons about the objects of geometry, I would like you to answer these questions as what have you learned about our discussion. Now that you're done answering, I would like you to form into 4 groups and create a role play showing 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes.